We now welcome the number 5 ranked UFC middleweight contender in the world, Darren Till. Darren, thank you for joining us today, sir. We will take the first question from Mustapha McGregor with BBC.
Afternoon, Darren. How you doing?
Not too bad, mate. Just coping with the heat.
I can imagine. Well, listen, I'm in Manchester, and we know the north of London, England, the UK, everywhere has got your back this weekend, man. I just wanted to know, we spoke to Robert earlier today, who says, he's kind of a smiley, happy-go-lucky guy. We know you like to slide in DMs and rile people up. Does that help you more get ready, or is that more about throwing people off their game?
It just depends on the opponent. If it's an opponent like Rob, why not have fun, because he's a very respectful character. But there's no animosity there. There's not I'm not trying to get in his head. Whether I am or I'm not, I don't think I am, to be quite honest. I've just been having a joke and a laugh at him. But then there's other times with opponents where, sometimes it gets a little bit more heated and words get exchanged and so forth, so on. So I just think it depends on the fight and the person you're fighting. And it's hard to sort of smack talk a guy like someone like Whittaker.
It obviously makes it easier to punch someone in the face a lot harder if you kind of hate them, but I know exactly what you're saying. It doesn't. Underdog going into this, but where for you is this fight won?
Just through all my training, what I've been doing in the gym, through my strategy there. I've left my strategy to my coach, and we've been doing everything in the gym. So hopefully everything we've been putting into play in the gym is going to work in the fight. So I don't actually know what I'm going to do in the fight. I know it's programmed inside of me because my coach has been programming it for the past 8 weeks. So that's how my coach probably sees me winning the fight, off him programming everything into me.
Okay, just 2 more very quick questions, and I don't mean to stir, but I don't think you can do a press conference without Conor McGregor's name being mentioned. So let's say at the end of this, you're victorious on Saturday. White says middleweight championship, or Conor McGregor at Anfield, sold out crowd, and we can watch again. Which would you prefer?
Middleweight title. Conor McGregor's a lightweight. He's 2 weights below me.
Yeah. Wouldn't happen. You're not willing to drop down. The reason why I mentioned Anfield is because obviously you're a big Liverpool fan. They pick up the title tomorrow. Will you be watching? And have you got a message for the team?
You know what? No, I won't be watching. I'm here to look after myself and focus on what I've got to do on Saturday. So, I hope the team do well, but I'm not really interested in what anyone else is doing or any other sports is doing. I'm here to do business on Saturday. I'm here for myself and myself only, and my team and my family.
Perfect. Nice and focused. Look, good luck on Saturday, man.
Thank you.
We'll take the next questions from Julian Kiewicz with Independent Media.
Yep.
Can you just explain to me? I think I've listened along the grapevine about your reaction to that Masvidal fight. How did that change you mentally to that loss and just your turnaround emotionally and mentally towards the fight game?
What was that?
Just after the Masvidal fight, how did that impact you in just getting more drive and getting back and just pushing yourself harder?
I didn't. I was sad for a long time, and I had to just sort of build myself back up over a long period of time, and just that sort of face some demons, and it was quite tough, but it was 2 fights ago, so I don't really think about it no more.
And then just tell us, in terms of the middleweight, are you going to be settling at middleweight now? Is this where you feel you're going to be comfortable?
Yeah, I'm quite comfortable at the weight. I'm close to the weight, so I think it's a good weight. I could probably make welterweight if I tried for one last time. If it was a big money fight or something like that. But I'm comfortable at middleweight. I feel like I've grown into it now.
Thank you so much. All the best for Saturday.
Thank you very much.
We will take the next question from Gabriel Gonzalez with Cageside Press.
Darren, I think everybody's noticed that you've been very active on social media. Would you say you've been successful in doing what you wanted to do and getting your name in everyone's conversation?
I suppose so, but that wasn't the intention. The intention was just to sort of broadcast, you know, what I think's funny and what I think is having a laugh. And if people go along with that, which a lot of the people did, you know, that was good for me. And it seemed to really hit off, you know, during the lockdown and stuff for the months everyone was locked up. You know, I just wanted to make sort of the experience for everyone. I know everyone had bigger problems. I just wanted to make my social media just, as I always say, real and fun. So, you know, I think everyone enjoyed it and it got in a lot of people's mouths, like you said.
I'm curious, no photoshopping yourself on Rob, if I'm not mistaken. And I feel like that was an easy one for you to take aim at.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Well, I'm fighting him, aren't I? So create a little bit of something there. But I've pretty much photoshopped my face on every fighter these days. So it's becoming quite a trend amongst the fighters in social media.
With all of the attention you've been getting, is it a little more disappointing for you that there's not going to be an audience on Saturday?
Yeah, I suppose there is, because you know it's good to have the crowd there, and I get a little bit more nervous with the crowd because it's like, you know, as I said, it's big stage, bright lights, and I'm probably going to treat it like a sparring session. And I always, you know, I'm very calm, cool, and collected in sparring, and that's when I fight my best. So hopefully I'll be bringing my best Saturday. But yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed, but you know, it is what it is. You just have to crack on with it.
You've said that you've tried to talk trash to Rob, but in your words, it just didn't work. How would you describe it? Is it just friendly rivalry? Is it just a competition? How would you describe, I guess, the tension, if any, with Whittaker?
It's just business. It's just pure business. I've got no hard feelings towards him. I wish him all the best in his life and in his career and his family. And, you know, I can't trash talk a nice guy, and I don't see any fakeness inside of him. I don't see any, you know, Mr. Me. I don't see him putting any act on. So, you know, I feel like he's a real guy, and I feel like he's a friendly guy, even though, you know, he is a beast inside the cage. So, you know, Saturday it's just business, and then after that, you know, I won't hold anything towards the guy. You know, I wish him all the best, whether he wins or loses. I just, you know, I wish him the best.
Final one from me. Jack Hermanson had the big win over Kelvin Gastelum on Saturday. He said he wants the winner of you and Rob. Does that one interest you, or do you think you have your sights set on someone else if you win?
If I win, I'm fighting Israel Adesanya, and that's all it is to it.
Thank you.
We will take our next question from Joe Coleman with TalkSport.
Hi, Darren. Thanks. First thing I've got to ask, what was the hit of Liverpool's Premier League title?
Oh, it was good. I went down to the ground, and but I couldn't stay long because I had training the next day. So I only stayed till about 1 in the morning and celebrated with all the fans. And there was a few Liverpool players there, so you know, it was good. And then the next day, they all went down to the Albert Dock, like, which is our sort of pierhead. It was good. It was good. Really good.
Amazing. I'm sure you'll get to properly celebrate the weekend. Your story from kind of the streets of Liverpool, favelas of Brazil, you know, I love the story of Nigueiras and everything. To be where you are now, I mean, it must fill you.
Yeah, I just, you know, I'm sort of living a dream. I've just bought my first house, and you know, just coming out into this every day, another place, another main event, another city, another country. You know, I always speak with me and my coach and the guys. You know, we were sitting on the beach today, and we're truly we're blessed, but we've worked hard to be where we are. You know, we haven't got here by chance or by, you know, a lucky streak. We've proper put hard work and hard grafting. So, you know, we deserve to be here, me and all my team.
Of course, yeah. And we saw in your middleweight debut last time out, you were very composed. The game plan that you and Conor worked on obviously went into, you know, complete focus mode. Can we expect to see a similar type of performance, do you think, on Saturday?
I think we're going to stick to the game plan. I think maybe a little bit more of added aggression inside the octagon. But yeah, you know, always stick to the game plan. And if only I would have done it against Masvidal, I would probably be on the cover of EA Sports right now. So, but no, you can't fight every fight perfection, and it's not like that. The fight game is certainly not like that, especially in MMA. That's why it doesn't matter who you're fighting. They could have a big belly or anything. You can never underestimate or overlook any fighter. And I sort of overlooked Masvidal a bit, you know, because he was a bit tiny at them fucking cars, mate. You're getting petty, Bunton. Sort of overlooked him because he was a little bit tinier. I beat Stephen Thompson, and Stephen Thompson beat him comfortably. So maybe I did, maybe on my part I did. But, you know, you live and you learn. I'm only 27 and I'll probably learn much more. You know, I haven't even hit anything yet. I haven't even started to begin. This is all just fun right now.
Of course, yeah. I mean, congratulations as well. You said there about the house. Congratulations about that. You've mentioned Adesanya as well a lot. I know that that's the name you want. That's who you want. Dana White has mentioned potentially bringing back the Ultimate Fighter. Now, I can imagine you two as coaches, that would be just absolute blockbuster stuff. Is that something that maybe tickles your fancy? Could you see yourself doing that?
Yeah, for sure. If him and Costa don't do it, and if him and Costa don't fight, which I don't know if I see it. Yeah, I'll step in. Like after this fight Saturday, you know, if all goes well and I win, I'm gonna jump straight back. I'm gonna have a week off and jump straight back into training and stay ready for September time. And, you know, something could happen. You know, even if the fight doesn't go ahead September and, you know, decide to make it tough and it's me and him, yeah, I'm all for that. And as I said, it's another experience and it's another, you know, it's sort of another medal to everything I've already, you know, achieved and done. So, yeah, I'm up for it.
Just one last one from me, Darren. Tom Aspinall, your teammate's making his debut in the UFC as well. I mean, British fans have seen just a glimpse of what he's capable of. What do you think the world is in store for? Because I mean, he's got so much pedigree, hasn't he?
Yeah, you know, I train with him on a daily basis, and I struggle with him even in my department where I'm a master at. You know, striking. He's such a fast guy for heavyweight. You'll hear everyone who trains with him or sees him saying it, and even who sees him fight, he's so fast for heavyweight. He dances around like nothing I've seen. And, you know, I can only speak from what I've seen in the gym and from his preparation. That's all been 100% and perfect, and his diet. But it's all down to him now, how he performs. It's not down to me or down to Colin. It's all on him. He's got to go out there. He's got to show the world. He's got to perform. He's got to, you know, even if he goes out there and it's a 3-round masterclass between both of them and he wins or loses, you know, he's just got to go out there and show the world and show Dana White why he deserves to be here. And I truly believe he does deserve to be here. So it's all on him now. I've got nothing to do with the man anymore. He's going out there Saturday for himself, for his family. And, you know, I can't wait to watch him while I'm in the back getting warm.
Amazing. Thank you very much for your time, Dan, and good luck on Saturday.
We will take our next questions from Alistair Bishop with MMA Republic.
You okay, mate?
Fantastic. Darren, my first question is you posted a bit of a transformation picture on social media. So how hard was it coming out of quarantine back into training?
It actually wasn't so difficult. I was quite big because obviously, you know, all we were doing was lazing around. But as soon as the lockdown was sort of announced from the government, I just carried on training once a day, wherever I could and however I could. So I was training, I was keeping in shape, but also I was eating a lot at the same time and, you know, getting quite big and buff. So as soon as, you know, the fight got announced, we just got back in and just sort of trimmed up a bit, cut a lot of stuff out. But with regards to being like fighting fit, I was quite okay because I'd stayed in good shape throughout lockdown.
You didn't have any of the Five Guys menu repeating on you when you got back to training?
Yeah, I did have that every day, like, I'm not going to
lie. Congratulations on the birth of your daughter. She also had a little quarantine surprise there.
Yeah.
How motivating is that for you now, becoming more of a family man and your family's growing? How does that motivate you now?
It doesn't. It never has. It never will. You know, why shouldn't, you know, obviously everything I do now, let's say financial wise and money wise, is all for my family and for my kids to set them up for life. But I was motivated before, you know, my family and my kids, and I'll be motivated, you know, I'll always be motivated now. And obviously there's sometimes, you know, when you're down and the images of them come into your head, but it's not to say that I'm not going to sit here cliche and say everything I do now is for them. You know, everything money-wise and financial-wise, and obviously for them to be proud of the father is right. But, you know, I just don't like it when people say, oh, there's extra motivation there. You should have been motivated from the start. You should have been motivated from the minute you started fighting. You should have had 100% in the gym every single day. I always say, if you're not going to give 100%, there's no point you going. And there's days like where I know I won't give 100%, and there's days I don't go, because it's pointless me being there wasting my time and wasting my coach's time.
You mentioned the heat briefly as you sat down. How hard? I was in Abu Dhabi last year for the Khabib card, and I know what it's like there. How hard is it to adjust to the heat moving around there at the moment?
It's at the moment it's quite sweaty. It's good. You get your little slight breezes, but it's hot. We went to the beach today and it was super hot. I think it was like 43, something like that. So, you know, it was sweaty. It was hard. It was hard to breathe.
Does it make weight cutting a little bit easier?
Looking up, so.
Thank you, man. All the best.
Thank you.
And we will take our next questions from Luis Green with MMA Crazy.
Hi, Dan. You mentioned before your teammate his UFC debut. But you've also got your teammate Mike Grundy as well. So what's it like been on the run up to this fight, having them, you know, and having them being all together in the run up to this fight?
Yeah, it's like a team Carbon takeover on Fight Island sort of thing. You know, there's about 7 or 8 of us out here, and we're all just chill. We haven't even spoke about the fight. Not one bit. We've just trained, we've chilled, we've went to the beach, we've ate, we're eating good food. You know, we're sleeping well, we're getting along, we're having laughs. That's what it's about. You know, we're all here to enjoy this experience, and then Saturday we're going to fight. So yeah, it's sort of like a little team Carbon takeover, and you know, as I said before, with Tom Grundy and Tom are here to do their business, and I'm here to do mine. So, you know, let's hope we're all prepared and we're all going to show for it on Saturday.
Yeah, nice. And obviously Whittaker being a former champion, how important is this matchup for you in terms of getting you closer to a shot at that title?
It is important. I want the title. I want to fight Adesanya, but you know, I'm putting every ounce of energy and spirit and soul, everything I've got into this fight, because this fight means everything to me. Like every fight I fight means everything to me. So, you know, obviously I think about the belt, and I think about fighting Adesanya, and I think about fighting welterweight again. But, you know, when I've been in the gym and everything, every ounce of energy, soul and spirit I've got has gone into beating Robert Whittaker. That's all that matters right now.
And, you know, when you think about the fight, how do you imagine it playing out?
Me knocking him out, hopefully. I don't ever imagine him knocking me out, you know. So that's it. I imagine myself knocking him out, hopefully.
Okay, cool. And you obviously mentioned about, you know, you want Israel Adesanya next if you do get the win. What is your prediction for Israel taking on Paulo Costa next? How do you see that playing out?
We'll have to see. I'll have to make the prediction when they've both made weight, because, you know, up to now, nothing seems concrete. But I think it's a 50-50. I think Adesanya a little bit more, because he's a bit more technical, but Costa's a big power puncher, and he's powerful, and he can go to 5 rounds. So I think it's a 50-50 fight at the moment.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And we will take our last questions from Damon Martin with MMA Fighting.
Hey, Dan. You know, maybe fight for a lot of money, you would consider going back to welterweight, but you seem so much healthier and happier at middleweight. Is it weird to think about making these cuts to welterweight? We see Anthony Johnson now. We're like, how did that guy ever make welterweight? Do you feel the same way? You're like, how did I ever do that to myself?
Yeah. Because I get dry now when I'm like cutting to middleweight. Not so dry, but you know, I can sort of feel my bones and like my muscles pop out a bit more when I'm like getting below the 90 kilos. And when I used to make welterweight, you know, when I was getting, you know, when I was around like 88, 87, 89, I was still big, you know, I was still buff and that and stuff. But now like I'm under the 90s, close to middleweight, and I can feel all my bones sticking out. So it's just weird that my body's made that much of a change in so quick time. But if it was dead and the money was right and the fight was big enough, I could do one last hurrah. I know Usman's the champion now, so you never know. You never know.
You mentioned, Robert Whittaker, former champion, is like a perfect fight for you to earn the title shot. But Robert has gone through some wars. The fights with Yoel Romero, obviously the knockout with Adesanya. Do you feel like testing his chin will be a big part of this fight to see if he can still take that damage? Because we know you can only take so many punches in this sport.
Yeah, of course. I feel like it's one big thing I've always thought throughout my career, that the wars take the toll on you, and whoever you are, you can see them taking the toll. Like, when you look at guys, no disrespect, but when you look at guys like Justin Gage, and I look at Max Holloway now, and sometimes I see glimpses of them like slaying a little bit because of the wars they've been in. And, all respect to the wars, but it ain't a smart choice when you're fighting. You want to sort of look in the direction of Floyd Mayweather, something like that. He's 40 plus, whatever he is now, and he's got all his brain cells and that because he hardly got it. So I think them wars, yeah, they're good, but they take the toll on you, and they do take the toll on your chin. So I think anyone I touch anyway, at middleweight now, I've found myself, I'm gonna hit with with that left hand, but we'll see.
Dana White said, when you moved up, you didn't want an easy fight. You didn't want to test. You wanted to fight into the Gastelum fight, which he was coming off the Adesanya, and now you're getting a former champion in Robert Whittaker. Do you feel like the progression here going into a title shot would just make sense considering where Robert Whittaker is, former champion? Do you feel like it wouldn't make sense to fight anything else but the champion after this?
Just look at my resume, look at all my resume from welterweight, and now look at my resume, at middleweight. Look at the two guys I'm fighting in my debuts at middleweight, Of course I deserve a title shot. I've never campaigned for it. Even when I beat Stephen Thompson in my hometown, I didn't campaign for the title shot. But I feel like the stars have aligned now. I beat Gastelum, easily, might I add. And he gave Adesanya the most trouble. And now, Saturday I see myself beating Whittaker. I'm beating two of the best guys in middleweight. Where do you want me to go? Do you want me to go backwards? So, all these guys calling my name, yeah, we're probably going to meet someday. I'm not avoiding you, and you aren't avoiding me. But I'm looking forward. So we'll see what happens Saturday. So I beat Whittaker. I don't want to hear any other name come out of anyone's mouth apart from Israel Adesanya.
And last question for me: you mentioned Adesanya. You said that the fight would cost us 50 either way, but in a way, would you find yourself, I won't say rooting, but kind of pulling to see Adesanya? Because would it mean more to beat Israel Adesanya for the title than beating Costa? It doesn't matter.
I just think it's a bigger fight, me and Adesanya. I just think it's right now, obviously I don't want to talk too much about Adesanya. I've got a big person to fight on Saturday, but I think that fight could just be one of, in top 10, top 5 of UFC's biggest ever fights, me and Adesanya. I just think that's a fight that's just got to happen. But yeah, if Costa wins, then I'll make a fight with him and I'll campaign for the fight against him. But we'll see. As I said, until I see both them guys weighing in September 9th or 11th, I think it is, I'll believe the fight's happening.
Thank you so much, Darren. That is all the time we had for you. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks.